It's time for my first ever Q&A. Thank you to the 2 people who left me a comment and asked me a question. I'm also going to pull questions from comments on other videos that I may have answered or may not have answered. And this probably will be a short video. Okay. The first question is, does sunscreen expire? I have a bottle that is separated even after I shake it. Great question. So most sunscreens have an expiration date on them that's usually 1 to 2 years from when you've purchased it. It can be very obvious or it can be stamped into the bottle. Let me see here. So like this one isn't as obvious. This is a Sun Bum sunscreen. It's right up here and it's the same color as the bottle. Now, I have run across one sunscreen that did not have an expiration date, and that was the Clinique, I think it's the Clinique Pep Start sunscreen that did not have an expiration date on the bottle. So, but typically they do. And I need to do this. I still haven't done this. I need to keep a Sharpie in my bathroom because one of the viewers a while back suggested that I write the date of when I open the sunscreen on the bottle of the sunscreen, which is brilliant because you're supposed to use that sunscreen up within a year. My practice has been to toss it out and use it up. That way you know which sunscreens you need to use up and which ones to get rid of if you've had them too long. I go through sunscreens pretty quickly, so I tend to use up sunscreens within a couple of months or within 6 months time. Now, a lot of sunscreens separate and they're not expired. But, you know, if it looks a little weird, but I think writing the date, even if you just wrote the month and the year on the sunscreen bottle would help so that you know whether or not your sunscreen is expired. Great question. Second question, any tips on the best way to reapply sunscreen when you are floating down the river in an inner tube and you keep getting splashed with water? Great question. Probably 6-7 years ago, I did a rafting trip for my job at the time in youth ministry. And we were in inner tubes floating down a river. This was before I had skin cancer. This picture right here is what my leg looked like when I came home. And this was on a Saturday. I was supposed to work again on Sunday. And I got sunburnt so bad in that inner tube that I couldn't even walk. My skin was see-through on my shins, both shins. I was in horrible, horrible pain. I don't know why I didn't go to the doctor, but I did not. I put aloe on it. But I had applied a sunscreen on my legs before I got in the inner tube. And I had little shorts on. I did have long sleeve UPF jacket on. I did have a hat, but I was wearing shorts and so my legs were bare, and then I was wearing sandals that wouldn't come off in the water. And anytime I would get in or out of the inner tube, it would rub sunscreen off, which I didn't realize. And also my shins were getting that direct sun. And I got secondary burns. And I reapplied on that trip too. It was like a 3-hour float down the river, and I reapplied once. The problem was, I don't think that sunscreen that I reapplied was something that you could apply on wet skin. So you need to find a sunscreen that applies on wet skin, which the only one I have found are the little Sunbum SPF sticks. But I don't know that that would be good for your legs because you're just going to be constantly, you'd have to put a lot of layers, but that's an option. But it says specifically for wet skin on it. I have it right here. Nope, I lied to you. I don't have it right here. I already put it back. The kids used those at the beach. So either find one that says it can be applied to wet skin or wear swim leggings. And honestly, that's what I plan to do. If I ever do river tubing again, I'll be wearing swim leggings and long sleeve swim shirt. I take way too long to answer questions, don't I? Someone asked, what is your skin type? I have extremely oily skin. My skin type is combination leaning oily during the warm weather and combination leaning dry during cold weather. Which sun stick do you like more? I'm in between the Tokobo and the Beauty of Joseon. So yes, I have tried both of these and I love both of these sun sticks. but I like the Tokubo more because of the shape. It has a thinner, I do have that one here. It has a thinner shape. It's more oblong and oval, whereas the Beauty of Joseon has a shorter, wider oval. It has a different shape. It's just, to me, it covers more area on your face. But I love both of those. Those are both really great sunscreens at a really great price. My daughter and my husband are using the Beauty of Joseon matte sunscreen stick currently. We've got 2 of those. And then my son and I are using the Tokubo. What do you use for the top of your head? Or are there sprays that can be applied on parts or thin spots? So I typically, personally, I wear a hat when I'm out and about. It's just easier than you know, doing a spray. But I will use, I've got it right here, this powder, and they have an SPF 50 now. This is an SPF 30, and this is the kids version. They have an adult version too, but I just happen to have my child's one. The Brush On Mineral Powder Sunscreen, translucent. It comes like this with a little brush that you can clean, and you just dab it in your hair. The darker your hair is, the easier it is to see. You can kind of rub it in like you would dry shampoo, and nobody notices anything. It's great for that. This is an SPF 30. Like I said, they just recently came out with an SPF 50, which once our 30s are gone, we will get the 50. I love this for my daughter's hair. I send her to school in this one. Kula, we also have, makes a spray on mineral, well, it's chemical, all chemical spray on. It smells kind of like sage and herbally. It does make your hair a little oily, so it'd be better with people who have drier scalps. But I have also used that on my daughters, and that works really well for the part lines or thin spots. Last spring, 2022 spring, I did a video where talking about breast cancer because I had a biopsy done that came back, not a biopsy, I had a mammogram that came back irregular that then led me to having a biopsy of some tissue on my breast. And thankfully, I did not have breast cancer. It was just a cyst. But this person asked, what made you want to get the biopsy? What did you feel that led you to worry about a lump in your breast? So I wasn't concerned at all. I went in for that mammogram with no worries because everything is always, I had only had one other mammogram before that, and it came back normal. And I have no history of breast cancer in my family, but they said they saw a shadow on my right breast. And so I had to have a core needle biopsy. I will link that video down below. If you are ever facing a core needle biopsy, please watch that video because you're going to need some pain meds, in my opinion. Okay, here was an interesting question that was on a video that I did talking about how to UV protect your clothing. This person asked, I don't understand. If cotton offers no sun protection, how do we get farmer tan? So this is my understanding from what I have gleaned from the internet and other YouTubers. Different materials have different UV protection. And cotton is one of the lowest ones, especially if it's in a light fabric or if it's white. Darker colored clothing or brighter colored clothing, like bright pinks, bright blues, the brighter colors offer more protection than a white t-shirt, especially cotton or linen, any of those breathable materials that are so popular that everybody wants to wear, myself included. And it's because the fabrics are not tightly woven together. So cotton, is meant to be breathable and airy, and that means the fabric is woven further apart from each other. Whereas if you have a polyester or a fabric that is densely woven together, that's going to provide you more protection. Like if you're wearing a cotton shirt, and from here down you'll have your tan, and then you lift your shirt up and it's wider. And they're saying that must offer some protection. I think it does offer protection from the UVB rays, which cause the sunburns and the tanning. But it doesn't offer protection from the UVA rays, which cause the cancer and the aging. And so even though you didn't get burned or have a tan, those UVA rays, which are the most dangerous, did penetrate that fabric. And again, if you're wearing black or a dark color, this is like a dark indigo purple bluish color, that would offer more protection than a white t-shirt. Oh, here's a great question. Can adults use a kid's sunscreen line? Yes. I used to think this too, that sunscreens that were marketed for kids were specifically made for kids. There was something in them that made them different, that only kids could use, and then the adult sunscreens were only that adults can use. No, it's just marketing. It's just marketing. Typically, I find that the kids' sunscreens are more expensive than the adult sunscreens. And oftentimes when you look at them, they're the exact same. They've just written kids on them. If you have more questions for me, leave them in the comment section down below and I will answer them in next month's Q&A. Maybe I'll do one next month, or I'll wait 2 months. 2 months, because I don't know if you guys like this kind of video. Today is a great day to wear sunscreen. So put some on right now. It's your 2-hour reminder. Bye.